What's going on, guys? It's Terrence from Too Fresh Fishing, and welcome. After a little bit of a vacay, I am finally back to get to making some more baits. I've been on daddy duty full time over the last month or so, so it's kind of been limiting me to how much I was able to get in and make baits. But tonight I was able to squeeze in some time. So what I'm doing tonight is going to be the 5-inch core shot Senko. And what I'm doing tonight, even though I've done a video on this before, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We are doing a 2-color laminate in holographic silver, holographic gold, with a core shot of an Aqua glow powder. And this particular glow powder is from Bait Plastics. I really like the glow effect of it, and I've only used it a couple of times on some of my crawls. I really like the glow effect of it, so I'm going to try this out on the Senko. And what the hope is to get a Senko body that has glowing tips on both ends, and the core shot will be a aqua glow going down the middle, and hopefully we can get some cool effects. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay guys, while we have the plastic nuking, I want to just go over a little tip I have. For doing this, it is advised just to make the core shot easier to shoot from the metal rods, to put some oil on the metal rod. So what I chose to do was just drop them in a Ziploc bag and put oil in them, just so that whenever I'm on my second shoot, it's easy to just drop it back in that bag, swish it around a little bit, and get it re-oiled up again, so that I don't have to keep going in and playing with the oil. And because these are going to be Senkos, we want to add a little salt. But what I'm going to do today is, instead of adding the salt to all of my plastic, I'm only going to add the salt to the core shot, and just so I can find out what type of effect as far as sinking goes do I get by just having the core shot and the tips done, added with salt on it. Since the salt tends to break down the plastic over time because of its inability to bond, I want to try to see if I can keep the outer core of the bait with regular plastic with no salt added, and only use the core shot for my sinking properties on it, and see how it works out. Okay guys, we've got our plastic nuke right now, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and add my silver glitter to 1 cup, and then I'm going to add my gold holographic glitter to the other cup of plastic, so that we can get those mixed up. I'm going to do a 1/4 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon for each. I really like the gold, and what I'm trying to do is, I just want the smidge more. I want the glitter to show, but I don't want it to be so thick that the glow-in-the-dark part of it doesn't show up the way I want it to. So we're not going to add too much in to get this stirred up. I've already did the other cup that I have my aqua glow in, just to save up on time. And anytime you're dealing with gold powders and you're dealing with pearl powders, just remember that you want to stir as much as possible to get everything mixed up. So I'm liking how the silver holographic is. Let me get the gold stirred in. You guys see this? Not an overwhelming amount of it in there, just enough so it can actually be seen in the laminate. Okay. Okay guys, we've got our plastic reheated again, and it's time for us to go ahead and shoot the second round for our primary colors. And this one should come out better. Top the sprue off. I didn't hold as long as I did with the last one, so the flow of the plastic coming back into the cup was a lot better. I'm gonna leave this here. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and start heating up our core color while we prep these for reinsertion back into our mold. So I have my X-Acto knife here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the ones that I've already done, and I'm going to cut off the tips of the bottom half as well as the bottom portion as well as the top portion, so that our core colors will be in the top area, running down the middle of the body, and then at the tip area in our Senkos. All right, let's go ahead and open this mold up and see what we're looking like with our second round. And I can tell that the mold is a tad bit warmer, but I can still see 1, 2 soft spots in this one and in this one. So I have to kind of identify why I'm getting the soft spots. I put some more oil on the rod, so as you can see, they're coming out a lot easier this time. And you know what? I'm actually really satisfied with that, with the exception of this one. I can see a deep dent in this one and a small dent in this one. So we'll see how it looks. Okay guys, I've identified 5 of the stick baits that I want to go ahead and utilize in order to do my primary core shots in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try as best as I can to cut off in an even line the top here as well as the tips here, so that the glow can fill this area in, go through our core shot area, and then fill in down here. So I'm going to start here, and we'll just basically use the X-Acto knife to cut through as evenly as possible, one at a time. And it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as the opening where your plastic is going to go in is wide enough for the plastic to evenly flow through, you're pretty much good. All right, and we have one more. And I've already set my mold on the right side to coincide with the way that my baits are. So what I'm going to do is identify the area in the mold or in the plastic where it lines up here, just so that it'll fit in properly. And I can see my lines where they meet. And again, they don't have to be perfect, but you do want to have them as close as possible. Okay guys, we've got our glow tips and core shot heated up to about a 375 temp, and this should allow for a solid bond throughout the plastic or the Senko. So let's go ahead and shoot this and see how it comes out. Gonna hold it on just to try to eliminate the possibility of getting dents in our tips as well. All right, fill our sprue up, shoot back in, and now all we do is wait for this to cool off a little bit so that we can open up this mold safely, and then we'll see where we are, guys. Alrighty, we should be good to go now. So let me get this mold cracked open so we can see how we're looking, and hopefully I don't get burnt in the process. Looking pretty good, guys. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to knock that off. Look at here. You see that? I am actually pretty happy with that. I can tell at the bottom we got a little bit of flashing around this area, but that's nothing. You can pull that off. But that there, guys, is pretty nice. All right, guys, let's see what it looks like. Oh, pretty nice. Yeah, I can see those cores. That blue looks pretty bad. Liking that. Pretty wicked. I'm pretty happy with these guys. What you think? All right, guys, so here you have it. And I can actually say it was quite a bit of work, not too much, but it was a little tricky dealing with the primary bait itself. And I guess for me, just with having indentations in some of them, and that's probably just me with the temperature and being that the mold was cold when I first started using it, and I didn't use my hot plate to heat it up just because it's already about 12:30 in the morning while I'm doing this, and I'm kind of exhausted. I'm just trying to get this video done. But what I will say is that I really am loving the way that it turned out. The glow effect on it is phenomenal to me. I don't know what the bass would think about it, but it's cool as heck to me. And we have the salt, which is going to be in this area, and running through the core of our Senko. So that should still give it some type of sinking, increase our sink rate on this, being that most of the times when we're fishing it, it would be wacky, and I'm not using a weight on mine when I'm utilizing it, so it's going to increase our sink rate, and it allows the core of the bait to stay intact because there's nothing that's interfering with the bonding process of our plastic. So being that the core area and the tips were the only thing that we're going to actually need salt, I didn't feel like there was a need for me to use the entire cup of plastic. If I was doing a lot of these, I probably would have used more, but for the purpose of the tutorial, it was not needed. It would have just been a wasted plastic. So again, guys, I thank you for taking the time to come through and check me out on Too Fresh Fishing, for watching the video. Drop some comments below to let me know, what do you think about the process? What do you think of the overall effect of the actual bait that we created? Did you like the glow? Anything that you would have done different? Any tips that you have for me? And I definitely will see you guys on the next video. Have a good night, and remember, Life is too fresh to not go fishing, so grab somebody, take them out, and let them enjoy a too fresh moment in their life. Peace.